Oh my goodness, welcome back everybody. JELLE'S Marble Runs continues today. I'm Rob Morris, and with me as always is my co-host, Pat Bernard. How you doing, sir?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm good, Rob. How you doing, brother?
I'm so psyched, man. Tell me where we're at today. Update me.
We are in the depth of it. We are in race 4 of 6 here at the Yelly's preseason event, the ARLA CRAVENDALE Last Marble Standing. It's an exciting event. It's collision. The first 3 events, we had our final race, we had our balance, we had our long jump. They were fine. They were classy. They were skill-based games. Today is the opposite. Today is brute force. Today is anger. Today, these marbles will line up 5 at a time. Left side of the board, right side of the board. And they are going at each other. They are released. They go down an incline, and they meet. Bam, right here. This is where the action happens. Explosion. Stuff happens. Here's the deal. These guys on the side, I'm going to be transparent. I like a semi-skimmers. I like a Grays of Glory. And I enjoy myself some freshers. But you know who I'm rooting for today, Rob? The ball bearings. These ball bearings in this event today are going to wreak havoc. They are big, they are heavy, and they don't care. They don't care. They work without reason. Here's what's going to happen. These ball bearings will come down. If they are contacted, the ball bearings will move, release from their positions, and they will go. Again, they are heavier. They are larger. They have no regard. And they will knock off marbles if any of them are extra out. If you fall off the edge here, it doesn't count. Your score is nil. You have to keep as many marbles on the course as possible. Obviously, there's 5 members of each team. Best score is 5, worst score is 0. So that's how we're getting down today. You talk about last marble standing. This is going to be last marble surviving. I mean, these marbles are going, they're going prehistoric on each other. It's, oh my God, it's going to be so good today because there's no frills. All the other stuff was kind of soft. I'm not going to lie. But today, what's happening is violence.
That was very impressive, as usual. I am surprised in no way that you put together such a comprehensive report today, because this video came out today. Yeah, so I just want to put that out to anybody watching this. Everything that Pat just told you, that whole thing, didn't even exist yesterday. We didn't even know what we were going to do. And this is who we got on the team. So first of all, thank you for that. That was absolutely, and you know what? It does seem a little verbose in sections what you said, but I will say that because of my ignorance about this kind of stuff, I appreciate the detail. And it actually took me, you did the right amount, because it took me all of that to understand what the fuck is going on here today. I'm a very visual person, and I think often about how people must go into sports in a theoretical way. You know, they have to picture outcomes and plays and all of this different stuff without seeing it. They have to do it all in their head and on paper, which for me is very difficult. In most of my mediums, I can just jump into what I'm doing and start messing with the real shit I can see. But sports don't always work that way. And so, you know, unless you're going to go play a video game or something like that to try to get an idea of what you're doing, which, you know, it's probably a thing to some degree. You know, see plays played out and stuff like that, and simulation is probably actually very helpful. But I'm very interested to see how this goes. This is a radically different event than we've seen already. Obviously, they've been very different going forward. But the addition of the ball bearings as an element, you know, we haven't really seen any obstacles yet in anything that we've watched. It's all about how well you get through one long slide of a thing and how well you take that course. But we're now dealing with the obstacles, which is going to show us a lot more about what's going on with these individual marbles' ability to perform under different circumstances. You know, I'm absolutely, I think I understand the kind of tiered format that you explained with the advancement. Honestly, I think I'm going to have to see that a little bit more to understand how it progresses, but it does seem like a lot to fit into such a tight window where it's only a 10-minute video. Very exciting. I love that we're broken into these 3 tiers, which might get rattled. You know, our tie that we have between us getting to the standings. very well may be broken today, because we are now very much separated into these 3 different tiers of points, and it sounds like what these marbles need to accomplish is so different, radically different than the other things we may see. Honestly, I am hoping that today's Milky Madness's event, especially the way they hurtled down the funnels with speed and tenacity. I'm hoping that they can bring that to this in a more powerful way. The lineup that you mentioned of how they come out the gate is very interesting to me. I can't wait to see that. And yeah, man, I think it could go any different way. I actually feel like, and here's an official prediction, just something in my gut tells me that this is not going to be a great day for Team Purity. I don't want to hex them, but there's just something about this event. They're so clear, and I guess today we're going to find out if they're as fragile as they appear. Otherwise, I think all the blues and greens stand to do well. I don't know what it is about that. It's actually, for some reason, it's I always come back to the clear and the milk for me, and I'm very, very curious how that's going to turn out. Wow.
And to say true about your commentary on this event being entirely different, absolutely. Those first 3 events, to make an NFL reference, those were combine things. Those were track and field. Show us how fast you are, show us how long you can jump. But now this is the sport. This is the hot water. We're going to find out what these teams are made of today, because they're going to be in the depth of it. They're going to be going at each other in a different way.
I don't want to break you up here, but in my head, combine is a tractor. I don't know what that means. You said football.
The NFL combine. Yeah, the NFL Combine is an annual event held by the Pro Football, and it invites all the college players out, and they show their athleticism. They do a 40-yard dash. They do a long jump. They do a broad jump.
Are there any tractors involved at all?
No.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Common misunderstanding, I'm sure.
There are kids from Iowa.
Oh, well, so then maybe it's from that. It's all about how you place against everybody else, which is kind of what really makes it a race more than any other sport at the end of the day. That's why it's a race, because it's a race for points. It's not a race for distance or time necessarily. But even if you get the best time or the best distance, you get points for it, or you don't.
Right.
Is this how fucking racing works?
Like
Formula One?
NASCAR,
like, yeah, do you get points based on how you do?
Yes, absolutely. And there's different points then. If you win the whole of the race, you get a large amount of points, considering if you lead the most laps, you get a bonus point value assessed to you. And then the standings are done in that manner, where 43rd to 1st is awarded in that.
I bet fantasy NASCAR is fun as fuck if you like that.
Yeah.
Like, because of how moment to moment massive things change like that, like in one race, as opposed to, I feel like it moves a little slower with something like football or baseball, because you really have to give them the whole game to do whatever they're going to do. Even though they may do something big at the end, can be helpful, but it's like they can't just do it once. But yeah, this is very interesting to me. And it's also kind of strange. I don't want to watch any of it as we talk about all this. It's not turning me into a fan of those sports.
Wow. No,
I'm interested in it in a theoretical way. I think I've talked to you about this before, and I this is the comparison that I give. There are a lot of things in this world that are horror movies to me. Okay, and what I mean by that is, I don't fucking like watching horror movies. I like a psychological thriller, but Freddy versus Jason, or they're like, your Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th slashers, even like Us. I don't see that. Anything that looks like it's violently scary, I just don't have fun watching. I don't like being startled and shit and creeped out. These are feelings I don't enjoy. What I do enjoy are stories. I love stories. I engage with horror movies, almost all of them, by reading their plot lines on Wikipedia. And I love it. I know what happens in almost all the horror movies, but I don't have to watch that shit because I have no interest in engaging with it in that way. But I love the intellectual elements of things. I love the stories. I love the rules of
You're into the scope of the narrative, not necessarily how they get there all the time.
That's exactly correct. because a narrative is my favorite thing, and I'm actually really harsh on things that don't contain it. They don't interest me as much. And once I learn the rules to a sport, I'm bored with it because I don't care. I mean, show me greatest highlights of all time. Like, show me the farthest home run anyone's ever hit and how it broke a window downtown from the ballpark or something. Like, that's fucking cool. Like, physical accomplishments are amazing to me, you know? But that's what Instagram and YouTube are for. Like, I don't need to watch a whole football game where maybe nothing like that's going to happen at all.
That's right.
And I'm not a franchise person, despite how I feel about team purity.
Right. That seems contrarian to your team purity and Milky Madness.
There's a lot about this that's contrarian to my feelings about sports, Pat. This is...
Amen.
I am a fan. I'm a legitimate fan. I will say this. The other day, my dad watched our first video, and I said, this is one of the most exciting things I've seen, or something like that. A little hyperbolic, but I said something of enthusiasm, and my dad goes, you're lying. I was like, I'm not. I enjoy this. It's not fake.
You get out what you put in, and we're putting our hearts into the Yellie's Marble races.
Motherfucker. All right, man. You ready to roll?
Am I ready to roll? You ready to roll?
I'm ready to roll. I want to try this milk, if I'm being honest.
We're having it on the last day.
Oh my god, that sounds great. How can we get it? Ooh, those ball bearings are big.
Yes. They're brutal. Not a contact sport today, boys. Collision. Yeah.
They're against each other.
Yeah. We're going to be off.
No.
Yes, they are.
This is no good for me. I don't want this.
You play to win the game, Rob. Someone's got to win. Boom!
Stay on after the collisions have been made. You see those dominoes fall on the side, where the two members have shot straight through the wall. Those two are
dominoes.
Stay cool under pressure and stay on the platform.
So if you could say soft enough against that wall, you won't fall, but if your momentum's carrying you out.
To be tipped. 4-2. Milky Madness manages to stay on the platform.
So they're going to fast forward to the results. They're going to show us the matchup happening and then fast forward to the results. Ooh!
Hey. Oh! Oh my god.
The ball bearings being released, add another wrinkle to it, and sometimes
They just linger. It's like golf. You hit it and then it won't stop until the ball just stops rolling, Mike. Oof. Just full.
Yeah.
There's a different formation.
And the first bearing triggered the second.
Always will. They're lined up with each other.
Oh, I see. Got it. Well, the marbles could take them off course. No, they're too heavy.
The ball bearings are going to run
Exactly where they're going to go.
Yeah.
Oof.
No, see? Boom. Pat, see? It didn't launch the other one.
Oh, wow.
Look at how many have come off for Milky Madness. It's going to be an easy victory. We're also going to line Milky Madness, but look at how many got deflected down
Lost
to the
two.
Side.
Lost another one. Lost another one.
Ooh. Boom.
Wow, they did fine in the first one, but they ate it that time.
Semi-finals kept 3 on the board.
Wow. Okay.
There it is.
Man, I'm feeling like my predictions were right on the damn money.
Yeah, so far. We're here in Group B already.
Wow.
Oh!
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
All the way to 2, and look at how well they're doing at avoiding. They've got 4
Chaos.
on, but look at how many.
The pressures are on top of it, are they not?
You gotta let that ball bearing finish.
Oh, it's
but I
not
think so.
settled. It's not settled.
Not yet. It may have a word still.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
A 4-1 being employed.
So when Greg Wood says 4-1, he means the formation the boys are in.
Understood.
Oof. Then I apologize. It's not best of 7, first of 4. It's just one time rolling, and whoever has the most on the board at the end wins the match.
Got it.
I fast forwarded and made an assumption, but
No, it's fine. Oh, wow, tied with Dairy Dash and Fresh. Okay.
So each team getting a point there.
We're learning a new sport every week.
Yes, we are.
Or
This is
every
intense.
few days.
The 2 leaders of the group.
Ooh, oof, oof, oof.
Who's? Oh, no ball bearings.
Yeah.
Oof. Shocking that some of the marbles can get through unscathed.
Yeah, all they do is to just clear the other side.
And they just...
Ooh, I'll take that win. Thank you very
Wow.
much. I'll take that win very much.
All dairy stay on. That is perfection. You're right, Greg Woods.
Mm.
Bro!
Whoa, whoa. Wow. Fresh work
Impressive.
together.
How did that manage?
Is that all of them?
That's everybody.
That was 5-5 tie?
That was 5-5 tie. No, we have a 4-5. One of the boys fell off. That's just a ball bearing on the side. Freshers.
Wow.
Freshers advance. Freshers win the group.
Wow.
Yes. Wow. So Grays of Glory didn't draw a point. It's the old men, I'm telling you.
So Purity and Grays will take each other on?
And Skimmers and Fresh play. These are the semifinals. Bro! Oof!
This is chaos. They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
It's a mess. Bodies on the floor.
My colorblindness makes this particular match difficult for me. These are both your teams, so...
Yes, they are. Surprise. So somebody's getting to the finals.
Yeah, I'm not mad about,
giving me 5
this
points.
either way.
Oof. Heavy.
The dominoes are a very interesting element of this.
Freshers go to the finals. Young boys.
All right, boys. All right, boys. All right, boys.
They stay on. I think we got Dairy Dash.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Oof.
One dairy, one dairy. I don't know, dude. It looks like we lose the milk.
I think this might... No.
Wow, Milky is showing up, dude. I was just saying it. God,
That's...
man, when I call him.
The 2 bottom standings members are now in the finals for this. You're right. Totally different events. And now we have the 3rd place that'll see the semis versus Dairy Dash.
All right, this is actually proper.
This is for
me
podium.
versus you.
Yep.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, hide in the corner. Hide in the corner, boys. Don't you worry about it.
Gun rolling.
Everybody, man, those are real finalists. Everybody
Yes.
really worked hard there.
Yes.
Found a corner, played it safe. Your boys even ran into the
One
ball
trouble.
bearings and didn't launch it.
Risky tactic. Because you're inviting danger.
Boom.
Whoa.
That puts them in 3rd place, Dairy Dash.
Yes, it does. Oh, my word. They both line up 4-1.
Wow. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Come on, come on. Oh. Oh, no, no, no.
Get off!
No, he's on. He's on. Is that the milk? The freshers. Gone. Gone.
1.
Oh, man. Wow. Ooh.
Oh, man.
Ooh. At the last second. Is it a tie? Is it?
Run it back. Run it back, Greg Woods. Run it back. Oh my God, boys! Get off!
Another tie?
Double overtime.
This is insane. This
is great.
Marble on
Wow.
marble will be
They're just going to give it to us, too.
This is a
They're just gonna have
one-on-one?
us- Oh, my goodness. No, the marble's not done. The ball bearing has word.
Wow, but that was 3-on-3.
Yes.
Both teams lost
getting
2
intense.
again.
Things are getting intense.
Now we're coming down to a 1-on-1 against the 2 losers from this whole event so far.
Right. They were bottom of the table, and now they're fighting for a gold. Is that what we're dealing in?
Tiebreaker. With
A
everything
1v1?
still in place. 1v1 with everything still in place.
What, dude?
Bearings
With everything-
reset.
Yo!
They just launch off of each other and Milky Madness.
Woo! Let's go, young boys! Touch! Touch!
Look at where they're heading.
Hey!
One state off of each other.
Wow.
One marble is looking at
Go ahead.
a still composed wall of dominoes. The other one has a big opening there. And look at how close they
Said you like narrative, Rob Morris?
Wow.
Over the edge.
You got yourself a narrative.
Wow.
Woo!
Got a little opening up there as well. You couldn't quite see it.
Double opening
I am
on boys.
speechless. I am speechless right now. Look at the milk up there. Look at the freshers at the
Milk
top
is
of
finally on
the
the
podium.
podium. Freshers, they don't know what to do. They didn't know that's where they were. They didn't know they were allowed to stand there.
They had a good week last week.
Wow. Very happy.
Oh my goodness.
Give it to me. Give it to me.
Oh my
goodness.
goodness.
Well, it's not every day that you see marble players going in the Cravendale, but it certainly won't be the last.
I know that they can't rig this. I know they can't.
There's too much integrity on the line.
And they physically, I just don't know how they really would and all the work it would go into to make this fake. But it is as if they are doing everything while doing nothing to keep this so tight. It is,
Yes.
it is,
They made sure the events they've given us are going to produce even results. It seems like that's what they've done.
if it's an accident, they're very lucky. Because
Yes.
this is tremendous. Wow, what a
highlight.
what a turn of the tables, my friend. And
Truly.
to see that double head to head, 1-on-1 after 2 ties, and a fraction of a centimeter
Yes.
is all that kept both of them from falling off again and having to go again. And that young man, do we know the name of the young marble who?
I don't know. You have to assume. You can't assume. I was going to say maybe they put their captain out, but no, we didn't get conclusive identity on who that was for the freshers nor Milky Madness.
Wow.
But what pressure.
Tremendous pressure, insurmountable.
And staring at triple overtime. The last fresher marble was hanging over the edge, keeping barely enough on, staring at triple overtime.
This is the most on the edge of my seat for a sporting event I've ever been in my whole life, for real. And I've watched several national championship games for many sports because of parties and shit.
Right.
And man, I didn't give a fuck about any of those that I can remember. This event has been the best event we've had. Do you dispute that?
Not even an ounce of me disputes that.
An amazing event. And nail biting, man, and it got off to kind of a slower start where I was like trying to figure it out. And like I said in the match, we're learning a new sport every week that the events change, and to try to wrap your head around the rules. And with something like this, it happens so fast, like so fast that your brain is trying to calculate all of it happening at once and where things are falling out. But I got in the groove of it at the end, and I was able to really watch. And man, did they reward me for that patience and observation with that excellent final round.
Yeah.
Every fucking thing I said happened. That's crazy.
Double overtime.
Purity at the bottom. Milky Madness showing up. How about the Freshers showing up in the most amazing way after 2 events where they ate shit, a third event where they really showed up, but they were middle of the pack at best.
Yeah.
And they won the whole damn thing in double overtime, triple overtime?
Double overtime.
Double overtime. Milky Madness showing up as predicted. I just felt it in my bones that this would be their event. I'm hoping it's not their last event. I'm hoping this is the beginning of a comeback for them. Dairy Dash, not disappointing overall. They came in behind the 2 underdogs at first, behind the 2 upsets. So I'll take that as a strong third on the podium. And then Purity. I knew it. I don't know how I knew it, but I knew it.
Unreal.
I knew it wouldn't be their event. I think that there's a lot that they can do on the field, depending on which field that is. But you said ball bearings, and I thought of my poor little Clear Purity boys, and I was like, there's no fucking way this is their course.
That's what happened. Yeah.
And here they are in dead last, knocked out by my own underdogs in the beginning.
Yeah, they managed no points from their group, nor did Grays of Glory. I think Grays of Glory finishes 5th on marble difference.
So do you think even though they're in first, that maybe this event took it out of the vets and that maybe they're done for this, you know what I mean? Like for the next 2 events? I mean, they got knocked around pretty seriously today.
Right. They had great momentum going into today, but today was just a totally different event. Today was a totally different test of skill, and they didn't show up, and you wonder now where the momentum is. They're not going to be fresh, pun intended, compared to the winners. They're not going to be having their stamina about them because this was rough, this was grueling, and they walk away with nothing. They lined up 3 separate times to get mollywopped, to get no points from it, and now they're just tired, and they come away with 2 points. They're hanging on to the lead. We're seeing now how effectively indifferent a 3-point lead can be. And we're just getting closer down to the wire. And I absolutely believe Grays of Glory has more pressure on them now to show up in the next event because things are trending south. They're in first. They should be thankful for that. But as far as trends are concerned, they should be at least thoughtful of how they perform in the next event, because it could spell trouble if they do this again in the next event. It could spell trouble.
Nail biter, my man.
Very much so.
This did not upset our tie by any means in my mind. This is still, we are still very close.
Oh, it's in as we said, it's an effectively invisible lead.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you got the Freshers went from being last, or what were they? Were they last, or were they second to last?
They and Milky Madness were both sitting at 8 points before this event started.
And here they are tied for second.
Unbelievable.
That's how quickly things change.
100%. You have the 2 teams that were at the top of the standings take away the least amount of points, and everyone else pretty much did what they needed to do to make this thing as tight as possible.
I'm a little sad that we're, we don't know what the future holds for these teams. Mm-hmm. We don't know, no one said this is not by any stretch of the imagination a qualifier for the league. This is just a one-off event. We may not even see some of these teams again.
Well, that would be a shame.
It would be dramatically shameful of them to deny the connection that I've already made with these teams. Even honestly, I'm starting to feel the Fresh. I've been cutting them down a little bit, but the way that they showed up today against Milky Madness, which I really was feeling like they would take the whole thing. I was really like, man, I knew this was Milky Madness's event, and I knew they were going to show up, and then they did. They knocked out Purity. They knocked, crushing. Stimulating for me to see this team show up in this way. And honestly, if you end up winning this whole damn thing with the Freshers, I'm not going to be mad about it.
I would be shocked by that, but yeah.
I'm not going to be mad about it because that's a true underdog story, my man.
Yes, it is. The way they're coming out of the gates, the young boys, and to think that they could catch fire at the right time and just finish with as many points from these next 2 events as possible and put themselves in a good position.
Absolutely. I would hate to see this kind of... I want the disparity increased on these points, though. I will say. I am hoping the next event, more separates the wheat from the chaff in this whole group, because I don't want anyone tying for any position when it comes to the finals. I want everyone to have a different score, There's something in me that wants that. I don't want a bunch of people tied for second and then one person wins the cup, I want it to be like,
you
who
want
was
a definitive
the loser and who was
you want
the
definitive
winner?
results. Definitive
right.
results.
That's right. I
You're
want
not
these
wrong for
marbles
that.
tested.
Absolutely. You'd be horrified to see the tie-breaking rules in other sports and how they break up standings.
Undoubtedly.
So I'm hoping we don't have to get to that point and we can have good results. But the way this has been breaking, man, they're making it damn hard to think that there's going to be a point separation here by the end of it.
Right. Parting words, Pat?
I am remarkably pleased with how exciting that was. I was as jazzed as I'll ever be, and I want more right now. I wish it was a best of 7 event. I wish that we got more of that over and over again. But to have ourselves a double overtime, just keep slimming the numbers, send your best 3 out, send your best out, and just a gladiatorial 1v1 for podium placement against the teams that were at the bottom of the table. This just showed how Collision, this event, is a stark difference in what is required to win than the previous events. And I hope that this is how 5 and 6 go.
What a bar to set for excitement.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If this had been event 6, I think I probably would have been okay with that, depending on what 4 and 5 were.
Right.
Can you imagine if it all came down to that final moment of one-on-one? That would be a perfectly suitable way to end the whole thing. But to go from here, what a bar to set for yourself, Yellies. But one we trust you'll exceed.
They always have, and they always will.